Thing about the snapback hats in particular, I remember in like 2009, 10, Tyga and Chris Brown had that snapback song that came out, and I was like, what is this? And I just started doing research and looking into it, and the more like I got into it, I just saw like all these designs and crazy logos and all this type of stuff from like way back in the 80s, 90s, like before fitted hats became a thing, before everything was all sized out. I don't know, it's just something about that nostalgia, that 90s, you know, whether it's Arizona Wildcats or a Tampa Bay Devil Rays, Green Bay Packers. I just have a bunch of stuff, like Grizzlies. I have over 60 hats now, at least. Probably even more actually, because I'm trying to get one for each team in every sport. But yeah, I just love it. And now when everybody now is wearing the new stuff, like the Mitchell and Ness and all that stuff with the new era, with the tags and the stickers, nah, not for me. If anybody brings that around me, I'm just like, go somewhere else, because I can't do that. I can't wear it. What's going on, everybody? Rob Lopez from New York, most beautiful city in the world. I'm a podcast producer for The Athletic, Count the Dings. And when I fell in love with sports, I can remember 1999, 2000, Allen Iverson, Lakers, Sixers, when he stepped over Tyronn Lue. That was my first memory. I just remember doing that and falling in love with sports, and ever since then it's been an obsession, unfortunately. Sports and social is just, I think it's so important for everything. I think it's so important, especially for athletes and teams, for multiple reasons. I mean, number one, athletes get to showcase who they are. They get to showcase what they love, what they do, what they have passions for. It just gets you to see another side of this athlete that you might not have seen before. I think that is so important. And I also think on the other side, it's very important for these sports leagues, teams to broadcast who they are, to advertise their brand. Social media is basically free advertising. So every time somebody shares a clip of an NBA game or an NFL play or whatever, you know, that just helps grow the sport. That helps people get, you know, mindful of what's going on, when the games start, when things are happening. I just think social is just such an important part of where we are right now and how everything's growing. And the future going forward, I just think social is just going to be the biggest thing for advertising and promotion and just how everybody consumes content. What shocked me in the NBA this offseason, I mean, top of the list, obviously Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, two of the best perimeter defenders in the league teaming up, trying to make their own dynamic duo. The Warriors randomly trading for D'Angelo Russell. I get it, you know, a Clay replacement until he gets back, and then maybe you get some value for him. Kyrie leaving wasn't a shock, but Kemba Walker going to Boston was kind of a shock. I didn't really take Kemba as a Boston guy, but you know, he went to UConn, so I get it. It makes sense. You know, he'll probably get some love up there. The Knicks not getting anybody. I mean, sure, Knicks are always up to something. They just decided to stand put, so I get it. And of course, Anthony Davis with the Lakers, him and LeBron. LeBron's last run. Are we gonna get another title? I don't think so, but we'll see what happens. Just this offseason was the craziest offseason I remember, even being a fan growing up. I mean, just so much movement. Over half the league moved around. Players getting not crazy contracts, actually good contracts. Some teams not mortgaging their futures. The Hornets doing something crazy. I just can't even explain properly anymore. I don't think this season LeBron's going to win another title. The West is too stacked, loaded. You got the Clippers, obviously, new guys. The Warriors are still not going to be a slouch. I mean, no matter what, you know, they lost KD, Draymond. They still got a good team. They still got Curry. They got an all-star in D'Lo. Still got Draymond. The Nuggets returned everybody. They might get a surprise in Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr., watch, be careful. That's a boy that can probably do something for them. The Utah Jazz got better. A lot of teams got better. Portland technically got better, I guess you could say, when they just upgraded Their big man with Hassan Whiteside. Every team got better. The Lakers, sure, they got better. You know, they got AD. They brought in Danny Green. They kept Kuzma. LeBron's LeBron. I just think that's just going to be too much. It's not going to be enough to challenge for the West. I just don't think LeBron, I think he has it, but I don't think those around him could potentially do it. AD isn't the world's best defender by any means, and look up the stats. Don't trust my word, look up the stats. So yeah, I could see LeBron winning one more ring before he leaves LA, but I don't think it's gonna be this year. I don't think he's gonna make the West Conference Finals. How about that? That's a take. I just think it's so important for Latinos to be represented in sports, not just sports media. I mean, obviously, you look at people like George Sedano, Israel Gutierrez, those guys on ESPN, front-facing talent, and then you even go down to people like myself or even homie Erica Fernandez. You know, what we can do to try to lend a visual and try to lend a voice to those people who want to make it in the sports world. You know, we're not just a bunch of people who love baseball and soccer. You know what I'm saying? Like, we love football, we love basketball. You know, and I just think it's so important to have those voices and just have visualization. You know, to the kids and to everybody who's growing up and sees that type of stuff. It's just important to see. You know, somebody can make it as a podcast producer or a writer or a reporter or even, you know, in the leagues as an executive in Minnesota. Gerson Rosas, he's a Latino in an NBA executive position, and I don't recall that ever happening before. You know, you can even look at somebody like Omar Minaya, who made some strides with the Mets, or those type of people in executive roles, coach roles. Ron Rivera with the Panthers. Those people lending a visual representation of saying, hey, this guy did it, that person did it, I can do it too. So I think it's very important not only for media to be represented in that way, I just think it's important in sports in general, just put people in positions to succeed. You know, whether they are, it doesn't matter if they're Latino or whatever the case may be, but if they're doing a good job and they're Latino, I think, you know, it's a bonus, you know what I mean? It helps, it just, you know, it lends a credence to these people saying, that we can do it too, because we are very talented and skilled and smart and educated. Maybe Brian not so much, but you know, whatever, it is what it is. But yeah, I just think it's so important. I just think we just have to keep grinding, keep hustling, keep making a name for ourselves. And I think, you know, no matter if you're Puerto Rican, Cuban, Dominican, Argentinian, whatever, you know, as long as you do what you got to do and you can make a difference, I think that's most important. But especially if you're Latino and you're setting an example for everybody else, I think that's pivotal to what we have going forward.